guys, welcome. This is my first attempt at a podcast situation. Um, I will be in this first episode type thing. I'll be telling you what happened to me, because that's gonna be everyone's first couple questions, right? So my name's Kevin Dusablon. This happened to me 9.5 years ago. Not 9.5. What am I saying? I'll explain in a minute. But this I am 29 years old. This happened to me 9 years ago, August 15th, 2015. So 9 years, 1 month, 9 years and one month and one day. So yeah, this is my first attempt at a podcast. I've been doing TikTok for a little while, trying to make that as a job because I haven't had a job in 9 years, so I gotta do whatever I can, making videos, playing video games. That's what I'm gonna do, right? So let's get back into the story, right? So at this point in time in my life, we'll get into the whole story in other podcasts, but we'll just get to the main points, right? I was working at the time. I just got back in from being homeless because I got kicked out. That whole summer I was working with my grandfather landscaping. Um, Waking up 6 a.m., getting to his house, and then, what was I saying? And then we'd go work 7 to, 3 or 4 whenever we get the job done. And at that time, he was paying me $15, $16 an hour. And, that might not seem like nothing nowadays, but 12 years ago, that was good money for what? For an 18-year-old, if I was working at Stop and Shop, I'd be getting paid $10 an hour. And a delivery driver, that was my other job before this, and you weren't getting that, unless you got a big tip, with gas. Yeah. So I just got done working with him, washed up, cleaned, and my friends had a house that I was going to. Hold on, can you pull this sleeve in? And both of them, just do both. And then, so what happened was they had a house down in the South Shore of Boston. I live in the North Shore. The North Shore and South Shore about an hour away. So an hour away, I took the train down, and then they picked me up, and at that time I was 20, I just turned 20. My friends were 21, so they were getting in the bar every weekend, whatever. They said they knew the bouncer, and that they would just let me in, and so I was pumped. I just paid $200. So I took $5 to get down there, and they were going to the liquor store, and I was like, just grab me a bottle of the cheapest handle, which handle is 1.75 milliliters or whatever, not milliliters, what the fuck am I saying, liters, 1.75 liters, so it ended up being a Rubinoff, which is fucking straight cleaning alcohol, So after, we pre-gamed and I drank that, I was pumped, I was going to go all out at the bar, but then after we finished, they told me, that's not going to happen. We're going to go to a house party. And at that point, I was like, bro, I'm not going to a house party. I don't know a single soul. I'll just sit in the corner doing nothing. They're like, bro, you're halfway to being drunk, right? So they got me in third rack, right? And they split it with me. And I don't like beer, so they got me, a third rack, like I said. So I shotgunned them bitches. I had 15 of them. I had my fun at the party. I don't remember shit. I just remember we were bringing 2 girls home, and the car was full, and they were like, "Yo, you gotta sit bitch next to these two girls," and that's when I should have took advantage of that. But me being, I wasn't this fat, right? I was being a little overweight, and so that's how I decided. I'm gonna get in the other car, right? With this kid, I barely knew. I knew him 2 weeks, and his car was empty, so I got to in the front seat. And this motherfucker was like, "Yo, if we get home first, that's 4 people that we don't have to have on our 2 blunts," And I was pretty excited for that. And you know, that was how he decided to speed. And this motherfucker, I don't know why, I took a Snapchat of us going 120 miles an hour. On my Snapchat, it was set 100 because, it's not the same thing. That's when things first started getting out. But I don't think they still have that feature because, they're probably on a lawsuit or something. But, I was in the thing, I literally was yelling, "Too fast, too fast, too fast, stop." And then, I didn't have the whole crash, obviously, but I put story. And decided I had to go 120 into a telephone pole. And that's when I hit my head on the windshield. And then when we hit the tree, that's when I went through. And then I came back in, I guess, or whatever, after I went through, because they do pull me in. And, after that, that's when I was, I was rushed into the emergency room, and that's when they were told my parents I never moved from my neck down. Obviously, you see me moving now, so you see what's going on. But back then, I had my fingers, right, after the accident. But the thing is, they didn't work, right? They never worked. It looks like I can move all this, right? But all I could do was this. I couldn't even do that. I was like, bleh. But it was like this much, you know what I mean, when I'm laying in bed. At the time of, first waking up. And so that made my mom very excited because when I first woke up, I had the tube down my throat and I was just trying to bite it because I couldn't move, right? And I thought I was just in a full body cast, you know what I mean? I never thought I was handicapped. And then, that's what happened. And, I was in the ICU for 17 days. For 30 days. I literally couldn't eat for 17 days. They had a feeding tube, but I couldn't eat because they didn't think I could swallow. They didn't know if I had control over it or not. And I had the ventilator. They took the tube out of my mouth and they put the little hole, I forget what it's called, but I was on the ventilator for, a month, and then when I went to the other rehab, I was on it for another 2 weeks, but anyways, so after, I got out of ICU, I went directly to Spalding Rehab in Charlestown, Boston. Area, and that's like the top of the line place. And I was there for 3 months, and I hated every moment of it. But looking back, I should have took more advantage of it. But it is what it is. And then I always thought I was gonna beat this, bro. I always thought I was gonna be strong enough. I always thought that I'd make my fucking knee move. Yeah, I just had a spasm, which is something involuntary, but that's because I was moving around, And, dealing with that is, after 5 years, that's when it hit me, right? That told me I wasn't going to get anything else back. So that really hurt my soul. And at that time, I was dealing with my parents telling me that I was mentally ill, crazy, all this shit and telling me they're gonna kick me out, put me in a nursing home, stop taking care of me. And at that same time, not having a job and then getting rejected by like every girl humanly possible. I was very depressed and I wanted to, I'm gonna say it, but you're not supposed to say it, but kill myself. And so I slowly started chewing my fingers. At first, it was in my sleep. I was dreaming that my family members would push me out of my wheelchair. They never did, obviously, but I dreamed it. And I slowly chewed my fingers off. No, I didn't eat the shit. I'd spit it out. I spit my knuckles on the floor, right? The size of the bones you would never understand, right? The bones in your fingers are so skinny. They're skinnier than a chicken wing, bro. Other than the knuckles. But I've always spit them on the floor, right? And I never got surgery, right? The only thing I got occasionally was silver nitrate, which is basically like cauterizing it sometimes. My mom would do that at home. That's about it. And at that same time, I'd also let pressure wound on my butt go. Pressure wound is from when you sit on your ass too long and it makes a hole. It's like when you lean on your elbow in the car and it goes numb. Well, I can't feel it go numb. So what happens is the pressure just makes a hole. And I didn't get it searched. I didn't get it. I mean, I wouldn't let anyone take care of it. So it got so bad. And I have pictures of it that the wishbone in my ass literally was coming out. Like, you could pull the fucking thing out if you wanted to. And at that point, I remember it was like August 25th and or something like that. I remember my sister's birthday or something, and I remember I was pissed. And I almost bled out in the bathroom, and I was hallucinating, and then I was having a panic attack in the bed, And as I'm having a panic attack, my dad's making fun of me when I'm begging him to just calm me down, right? And it's a true story. No one can, look back on and tell him I'm lying. That's why, it's not talking shit, it's telling the truth. That's my thing, guys. I always tell the truth to you guys because when I lie, it's not genuine, right? So I'm not a fucking AI motherfucker. I don't have a script. I don't act because if I hadn't act, I'd be on the corner, begging for money or whatever, with ripped shirt and all that shit. But at the end of the day, I decided to live and, went to the hospital, it took 2 years to get fixed, right? And at this time, I put on an extra 40 pounds because I started eating. I had to eat as much steak, peanut butter, chocolate milk, everything with protein as I could, right? And now it's hard to quit, right? I have pretzels, I have Pop-Tarts, I have Fritos, I got all these bad things that you're not supposed to have, and it is what it is. But now I eat once a day. I had today? What did I have? Pretzels, and I had something else. So I'm probably gonna not eat much. No, I had pretzels and I had Fritos. Yeah, Fritos. So I won't eat a big meal today. So it is what it is. But that's just an example right now. I'm on a diet. I know it doesn't look like it because I got big old titties, but it's hard when you can't. Oh, what do you want me to do? Do arm circles, bro? There's my arm circles, motherfucker. Like, it is what it is. So that's what I plan on, doing for my life. Trying to do this and doing that, talk about it. Because there's not really a safe space anywhere for people to talk about their suicide attempts, and surviving. Everywhere you get banned or blocked for talking about it. So, it is what it is. So I hope you enjoyed that first little bit about me. So now it looks like I can move my whole arms, right? I can't. I can move my bicep, tricep, and twist my wrist, and then I can use my shoulder. So it's like I can put them all together to do a lot. I did just have surgery, and there's bad news about this, so I can't. I'm not gonna talk about it right now, right? Because this is the future. But that's what I can do. I can't move my legs. I can't feel that, right? I didn't forget how to walk. I didn't forget how to move. This is just what I have to do. So it is what it is. But that will be my first podcast, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. Let me know if you want to see more. Have a good day.